Alright, so I just got done watching the Mayweather Jr. and Logan Paul fight, or whatever you want to call it. Shit show, clown show, whatever you want to call it. Um, just off the rip, I just want to say, who actually buys these pay-per-views? Like, there's no way. I feel like this is some kind of, like, money laundering shit. How they're paying out, like, all these millions of dollars to these fighters and these, exhibition, just basically clown shows. Anyway, that's besides the point. So it was very underwhelming. It honestly went very similar to how I thought it was going to be. But there was a couple things I will say I was surprised by. Before the fight, I said this is probably going to be very similar to the McGregor one, where McGregor's just going to throw a whole bunch of punches. Mayweather's just going to sit back, have an occasional jab, not try to do anything crazy. You know, act like he wasn't fighting like a professional boxer. Now, I'm going to eat my words about the Pauls. They honestly, if it wasn't for them, boxing would actually be way less popular than it is because boxing, like, I don't know, 3, 4 years ago, was pretty dead. Like, it was dying. Like, obviously, UFC was killing boxing, and then, of course, all the other, like, martial arts events. Like, a lot of people weren't really into boxing. Like, I've always been a casual watcher of boxing. Like, I don't really have a favorite fighter or whatever. Like, I don't know. I always like Pacquiao. I'm not a fan of Mayweather Jr., by the way, for many reasons. But, anyways, that's besides the point. But, yeah, it honestly did not go how I thought it was going to go in a kind of good way. Like I said, this was a clown show. I figured he was going to let Logan Paul lace him up, obviously protect himself. I feel like he was going to get laced up a lot. And looking at the unofficial stats for for Mayweather and Paul, jabs, Mayweather was 7 out of 14, Paul was 7 out of 73. Power, Mayweather was 36 out of 93, Paul was 21 out of 143. Total, Mayweather was 43 out of 107. Paul was 28 out of 217. So clearly, Paul was throwing way more punches. And I will say, Mayweather was missing hella punches. I know that if you look at the stats, he had way better efficiency. But for somebody who's seen pretty much every Mayweather fight, at least a lot of them, this is not how a lot of them went. I mean, as much as I don't want to say it, like I was touching on earlier, well, I think Logan Paul might be for real. Oh my god, that makes me feel fucking disgusting. But I don't know, man. I think it's time we take him seriously, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't care what kind of shape Mayweather was in. He's gonna pretty much beat anyone's ass who is honestly maybe even some like top level pros. And obviously Logan Paul is not a professional fighter, and he went toe to toe with him. And spoiler alert, in case you guys didn't read the title, it was a draw. So I mean, you can look at it however you want to. I'm just glad I didn't waste money on it. It was a little surprising, but it really didn't go. It wasn't like anything crazy happened. You know what I mean? I just feel like Mayweather's career, kind of in a sense, is tarnished from this because it just looks bad. You know, that 50-0 record, it just looks bad that he let Logan Paul hang around. And I think at the beginning he was doing the thing that he did with McGregor. You know, like how he was just toying with him, letting McGregor get all these punches in, protecting himself, not really throwing anything. Like that shit in SpongeBob. You guys remember that shit? Was that like Bubble Bass? No, that wasn't Bubble Bass. Whatever that like triangle looking fish was. And he was like just punching the shit out of SpongeBob, and SpongeBob didn't do shit. I thought it was going to be like that again, but it wasn't. Anyways, it was a shit show. It was a clown show, just like how I expected it to be, and I was slightly surprised. That's my opinion on it. I'll see you guys.